The small town of Riverton, located just an hour outside of Chicago, had always prided itself on being a tight-knit community where everyone knew each other's name. Life moved slowly, like the gentle current of the river that ran through the heart of the town. But on the evening of June 12, 2018, a darkness descended that would change Riverton forever. The sun had barely set when a scream echoed through the streets, sharp and full of terror. By the time the police arrived, the local diner, a popular spot for residents to meet and chat, had turned into a crime scene. In the corner booth, Adrianna Younge, a 27-year-old waitress with a bright smile and an infectious laugh, was found lifeless, a single gunshot wound to the chest. The blood-stained table was a stark contrast to the otherwise cheerful and bustling diner. Adrianna's death would ignite a firestorm of corruption, deceit, and unspeakable betrayal that would drag the entire town into the depths of scandal. The case that followed would unravel the very fabric of Riverton, revealing a web of lies that no one had ever suspected. Before we dive deeper into this chilling investigation, I just want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. We post true crime, suspense-filled stories every day, and each case is more shocking than the last. If you're new to the channel, be sure to catch up with our previous videos to immerse yourself fully in these gripping tales. Now, let's jump right back into the story. Adrianna Younge was a familiar face in Riverton. Born and raised in the town, she was a beloved figure who worked as a waitress at Hopper's Diner, the social hub for locals. Adrianna had a reputation for being kind-hearted, hard-working, and always there to lend an ear. She was known for a glowing smile, which brightened even the darkest of days. To most, she was just a small-town girl trying to make a living. Nothing extraordinary, yet everything about her seemed pure. Despite her easygoing nature, Adrianna had begun to distance herself from some of her friends in the months leading up to her death. She had recently started acting strangely, more guarded, distant, and often reluctant to talk about her personal life. Her friends had chalked it up to stress from work and her ongoing struggle with student loans. But those closest to her knew there was something more. The evening of Adrianna's murder was like any other in Riverton, until the scream. Sarah Jensen, one of Adrianna's closest friends, was the first to arrive at the diner. She had gotten a call from the police that her friend was missing, and she rushed to the scene, only to be met by a scene she would never forget. The diner was eerily quiet, save for the sound of the radio playing in the background. The sight that met Sarah's eyes was chilling. Adrianna was slumped in the corner booth, her lifeless body pale and still. The blood, still fresh on the table, was the only sign of the violence that had unfolded just moments before. The police quickly ruled it a homicide. But who would want to kill Adrianna? And why? The more they dug into her life, the more questions they found, but no clear answers. Detective Lucas Price, a veteran investigator with the Riverton Police Department, was assigned to lead the case. Price had worked hundreds of cases in his career, but something about this one felt different. He knew everyone in Riverton, but this was the first time he felt like the town itself was hiding something from him. The first step was to investigate Adrianna's social circle. Her family was devastated by the news, but they couldn't offer any leads. Her friends, including Sarah Jensen, described Adrianna as increasingly paranoid and secretive in the weeks before her death. Sarah remembered that Adrianna had mentioned feeling like someone was following her, but she had refused to go into detail. As Detective Price delved into Adrianna's life, he discovered a possible connection to Brandon Hale, a 35-year-old local businessman with ties to some unsavory characters. Hale owned the town's most prominent car dealership and had recently been involved in a major land development project that had stirred up controversy. It wasn't long before Price discovered that Adrianna had been working as an escort on the side to pay off her growing debts. A trusted source of the diner revealed that Adrianna had recently confided in him about her secret life, explaining that she was involved with someone dangerous but hadn't wanted to say more. This revelation was a turning point in the investigation. But what could it mean? Was Adrianna's murder the result of a botched business deal? Or had she been killed to silence her for something she knew? As the investigation progressed, multiple suspects emerged. Brandon Hale, a local businessman with a tarnished reputation. Hale had a history of questionable deals, including a recent partnership with some known criminals. Adrianna's involvement with him seemed too coincidental to ignore, but no evidence connected him directly to the crime. Travis Murphy, a former boyfriend of Adrianna's who had been seen arguing with her just days before her death. Travis had a criminal record for assault, but he insisted that he had nothing to do with her death. He was heartbroken, devastated by her recent rejection. Could he have snapped? Sarah Jensen, Adrianna's best friend, who seemed to know more than she was letting on. There were rumors that Sarah had been in love with Adrianna, but was it jealousy that led her to betray her friend? The deeper Detective Price dug, the more tangled the web of lies became. But one crucial piece of evidence kept eluding him. The gun. Despite the blood splatter and the wound, no firearm had been found at the scene. After weeks of dead ends, Detective Price received an unexpected tip from an anonymous source. The source claimed to have seen Brandon Hale with a handgun near the diner on the night of Adrianna's murder. The source, who remained hidden in the shadows, alleged that Hale had been seen speaking to Adrianna just moments before the shooting. Price immediately reopened the investigation into Hale's background. Upon deeper scrutiny, it was revealed that Hale had been in financial trouble, owing large sums of money to dangerous people. A check into his financial records uncovered a staggering pattern of bribery and corruption. One key detail stood out. Hale had been part of a larger criminal syndicate involved in money laundering and land fraud. Adrianna, unknowingly, had become a threat when she started to collect evidence against him, unwittingly helping an FBI agent who had been undercover in Riverton for months. The truth began to come into focus. Adrianna had been murdered because she had gotten too close to the truth, and Brandon Hale was the orchestrator of her death. In a dramatic turn of events, Brandon Hale was arrested after a lengthy investigation, and the evidence was overwhelming. Prosecutors uncovered that Hale had ordered Adrianna's murder to silence her before she could reveal the truth about his illegal activities. With the help of her friends and Sarah Jensen, who had been unknowingly aiding the investigation, the truth was finally revealed. Hale was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The entire town of Riverton, shaken by the corruption that had taken root in their small community, began to heal. However, the scars left by Adrianna's untimely death would never fade. But the Adrianna Younge case leaves many lingering questions. Was Hale the true mastermind, or was there a larger syndicate behind the scenes? Was Adrianna's involvement with Hale purely coincidental, or was she targeted for something more than just a knowledge of his business dealings? And why did it take so long for the truth to come out? One thing is certain. Adrianna's murder exposed a corruption that ran deep in Riverton, but there may still be more dark secrets yet to be uncovered. Do you think there were others involved in Adrianna's death, or was Brandon Hale acting alone? What do you think motivated him to kill her? Was it to protect his criminal empire, or something deeper? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the other one.